Today I bring to you the tale of Manorfish, also known as Man or Fish, a dwarven outpost clinging to survival on the edge of the world. This is the story of the Owner's Lust, a group of dwarves whose ambition drove them to the very brink of existence in a place known only as the Thin Land, by the fearsome shores of the Ocean of Wars. The elves and humans are over 2 days away. However, goblins are outnumbering the dwarves and growing fast. Just a half-day's march to the west, where their numbers are abundant. So abundant, in fact, they've managed to overtake a nearby dwarf fort with an army of 1,400 goblins, all under the command of a powerful, and apparently tongueless, goblin overlord named Thon. Anyway, Thon the tongueless shouldn't bother us, right? Right? This is a tale of serial killers, snake people, giant worms, virgin sacrifices, and goblin invasions. So sit back, relax, and allow me to regale you with this saga. If tales of such grandeur pique your interest, consider subscribing to the channel. If not, magician's brick! Our story begins as it usually does. 7 slightly naive dwarves ignore the counsel of their queen to not go to the southern wastes and construct an outpost in a pretty objectively terrible location. But hardship breeds character, so we're doing it anyway. You have arrived. After a journey from the mountain homes into the forbidding wilderness beyond, your harsh trek has finally ended. Your party of 7 is to make an outpost for the glory of all of Zavazedzul. There are almost no supplies left, but with stout labor comes sustenance. Whether by bolt, plow, or hook, provide for your dwarves. You are expecting a supply caravan just before winter entombs you, but it is spring now. Enough time to delve secure lodgings ere the polar bears get hungry. A new chapter of dwarven history begins here at this place. Deducted Losh. Man or fish? Strike the earth. After surveying our surroundings, the dwarves quickly realized that yes, there is pretty much nothing here. Aside from some driftwood and rocks surrounding the permanently frozen gulf and coastline. Enchanted by a cynical god, aka Twitch chat, the exhibition leader was quickly nicknamed Driftwood Muncher to personify their newfound hardships. As there is nothing for us out here, all fishing and gathering was suspended, and Muncher implored the 6 to dig into the earth to escape the snow. The stairway quickly opened to an enormous pit as their beards defrosted with the hot air. They had somehow found an underground volcano. This caused a change of plan, blocking off the open stairway so nasties don't fly up at us, and dig south to go around the side of the volcano. Also, as this isn't too deep, an elaborate ramp system through the ice layer to allow in traders if Manorfish would get so lucky. Fortunately, the precautious Driftwood Muncher meant we had enough applewood on the cart to make some initial beds despite lack of trees on the surface. In the meantime, the poor dwarves needed to haul the supplies from this god-forsaken glacial surface down to the newly dug tunnels near the warmth of the underground volcano. As they began to feel more comfortable in their new abode, a new issue arose. There is no water. Perhaps it's due to the heat of the volcano, but there's no cave moss or lichen here either. With tensions continuing to rise, more dwarves pick up picks to search for a water source. Fortunately, they quickly uncover more of the caverns hidden behind the cragged rock, including precious and delicious unfiltered cave water. Now it just became a mission of safely getting this into the fortress without flooding or allowing anything like giant toads or crocodiles to get in. And, of course their god is a perfectly capable adult capable of artistically devising waterways that definitely won't go horribly wrong. The thirsty miners began working rapidly to get the waterway carved out, while other dwarves sorted out the infrastructural stuff upstairs. A husband and wife of 4 have fallen into the dugout well. The husband's neck took the full force of 2 impacts, splitting his throat into gore tearing the major artery. His wife is luckier though because Catton seemed to break her fall. Nice of him. I'm sure this death will have no repercussions on the fortress whatsoever. Despite the minor setback, we'll continue on with building the wells, and the first meeting hall is made into a hospital for the injured widow. In memory of this poor dwarf's sacrifice to my carelessness, we will finish his work and plan to bury him close by. Part of the plan is to irrigate the dirt with the standing water so we can actually farm crops. Just a couple of floodgates will do the trick. Not ideal. Before we invite the water to the well, the dwarves will remove the corpse. No one wants to drink dwarf soup. It's just a matter of releasing the floodgate, allowing that stinky guano water into our thirsty base. Once enough water has entered, we shut off the farming floodgate, allowing it to only go into the well. They are currently sustaining themselves entirely on chicken and peacock eggs, so let's hope this grows fast. Although it is a grim reminder of the winter hardships to come, the supply caravan from the momentous vestibule is a welcome sight. Their eyes are alight with the anticipation of inspecting the splendid products of your industrious crafts dwarves. Take careful stock of your own stores. What these merchants offer might very well be the difference between a prosperous future and a slow and meaningless death. We need to throw up a temporary trade caravan. Exhibition leader Driftwood Muncher is going to appoint Eshtan as our broker to deal with these guys.
What are you guys crafting? Ozempic.
Very funny.
Fortunately, we have cut gems to trade. Fruit of the caves, so to speak. This affords Manorfish some more mushroom and delicious imported cheeses. Now with more preserves knocking around and an ever-expanding population with migrants wandering in from the wastes, food and drink production goes underway. It only took months of starvation. Despite the heartbreak of losing one of their own, the miners, invigorated by full bellies, break safely into the caverns through an area we can turn into a trap hallway. The caverns solve yet another issue we had, lack of wood for crafting beds. So, if we were to go down a metaphorical checklist, we kind of have everything under control again. Thank God. Right, well that didn't last. Now a stupid giant Olm is trying to gum the woodcutter to death. In his panic, the woodcutter seems to have fallen into a deeper expanse below this one. We won't be deterred further by the howling of beasts left forgotten. Our new militia, the Mountainous Murders, they were in such a rush to get down here, most recruits are just bare-knuckle boxing the Olm to death. Meanwhile, during an expansion to create a forge area, we uncover more unusually volcanic walls studded in gems. Truly this is the embark of all time. I'm sure I won't immediately forget about this and never search for the gems. We create access to the lava, allowing it to dribble into some dwarf-made trenches in order to power our future forges. All the while, the Crundles in the caverns are throwing hands, so we need to consider locking it off when not in use. Given the fact we also have more fungusy wood, we can start planning bedrooms, kept toasty by the volcano and nestled deep within the earth, safe from the frozen wastes above. Not too safe, though. Gotta keep them on their toes. Finally, a caravan from another civilization. No idea how they're arriving from the south, though. The elves come inside to warm their ears, completely mogging us while the dwarves try to tidy up. The elf offers greetings and is apparently interested in our ethical works. Whatever those might be. Like, I don't know how ethical selling a kangaroo to us is, but whatever, dude. You do you. Nah, we don't need that sh*. We have enough problems. Our charming Manorfish dwarves just offer them a gift as a thanks for making the journey. Urist practically tweaking, trying not to mention the bonecraft factory in the basement. Disaster strikes, though, when exhibition leader Muncher has his pants ripped by a rampant cave crocodile. Oh, also it broke his legs. Fortunately, it's being seen to by a very powerful 11-year-old who knocked it unconscious. Muncher took this personally, and it's decided these doors are now locked till further notice. We've been visited by a sort of tall dwarf known as a human, migrating to our trade caravan with a horde of penguins. They don't really have anything good, except a tome called Surveying After the End. The original too, not even a copy. It's an elvish, legendary codex that has been missing for 50 years, written by the elf that invented land surveying and also discovered where rain comes from, apparently, before he was tragically struck down by a hydra. Going forward, we'll try collecting cool little oddities like these. We really want to attract more migrants to our humble abode, so a very tiny tavern is built on the corner of the housing district. It's small, but we'll elect our beloved Space Potato as tavern keeper, and directly below that, a clothing industry to repair Muncher's pants. Speaking of which, we finally get the hospital fully operational, so now wounds aren't left to fester and rot. It's to be headed up by Dr. Methylene Blue, PhD, despite the fact he never went to Dwarven medical school. Now you'll get to see how a professional handles finally getting migrants in.
Oh, some migrants have arrived! Yes!
We only really had mundane, strange moods so far, but enough reason to build a tiny display cabinet in the main hallway so nothing gets stolen. Also to protect us from expansion, a nice dorm near Space's Tavern. We also have some great names so far for dwarves thanks to Twitch chat. Even Emeron the Traumatized, who unfortunately had to let their injury air dry after losing Catan to the well. After naming a few more dwarves, we name Emeron's child Curling Stone 2, an equally upset dwarf, possibly due to the permanently wounded minor mother and dead father. But I'm sure they won't seek revenge in some way. Maybe crafting some rock toys will cheer her up. Also, they probably aren't too happy being pecked awake by penguins, so we'll move the initial beds down to the new dorm and seal off the trade entrance with a huge ice bridge. Despite our lack of meaningful weaponry thus far, we needed a place for our 2 full-time soldiers to train. It got a bit unhinged, but Chat and I managed to work something out.
2 fellas training in the shower at Manorfish. Yeah. It's the classic, you know, what can I say? Yeah, they hold hands. What's wrong with that? It's 2024. I mean, it's the year 101. People can do what they want to do. This is good for their little training session. Wink, wink. Let's have statues of them wrestling. And then this is their dojo where they can, like, train each other. Clay, you know you're one of the guys. The other guy's Tobal. He's both tough and weak. The perfect combination. Tobal the Taker. What does he take? Dunno. That's allow them to decide. Sometimes he gives, sometimes he takes. This the way of the Dwarven army. We're going to make 2 copper statues, okay? Oh, it's going to be so cute. Specify a new image, and the creature is going to be a historical figure, and it's going to be Clay and Tobal. Tobal the Taker. Okay, hang on. Tobal the Taker. Tobal the Taker is surrounded by Claiborne. That is amazing. How does a one man surround another? Wait, no. Clay should be surrounded by Tobal, right? I think that's the way of doing it. Hang on. There are 6 different ways. The combined moment is an image of Claiborne the dwarf and Tobal the Taker the dwarf. Claiborne is surrounded by Tobal. Tobal the Taker is impaled on Claiborne. I think that's perfect. I actually think that's the perfect image. Innuendo aside, the dojo/barracks is built, and if any nasties were to break in somehow, they need to go directly past the 2 sparring soldiers to get to the citizens. The fortress continued to develop and thrive, and within a short time, we had more migrants and a proper tavern to entertain them with. A higher population also means we can have more soldiers, so no longer are we protected by just 2 oiled-up grapplers. Because of our increased clout, we'll need them. Goblins have begun attacking the fortress, just as we suspected they would. I mean, they're just a stone's throw away, so no doubt they've come to steal our food or something. Elsewhere, the farmers and worshippers of the god Katir, the god of fortresses, require meeting halls, so we'll get those set up. Clearly, these 50-odd dwarves valued the god of fortresses so highly for the refuge from the blizzards outside. So we'll decorate with penguin cages. Some dwarves like penguins for their waddling gait, so they'll probably be treated well here. The upset dwarf problem is improving too, with the only angry dwarf being Curling Stone 2 unleashed. But it's okay, she's in therapy. For some diversity, the dwarves are now eating Rutherers too. Massive, hairy fantasy monsters weighing up to 3 tons. They do escape from time to time though. Oh my god, what? Hang on. Mayor Driftwood Muncher. Congratulations, Mayor Driftwood Muncher. I had no idea Driftwood Muncher was a mayor. What the hell? Because Muncher is now Mayor Muncher, he deserves a better living situation. However, while setting this up, disaster strikes. Huh? Onal the animal trainer has been found dead. What the f*** happened? Oh no. What happened? How do you get found dead? In a hallway. That's the animal trainer. Did he get bitten by a Rutherer? It's the kid. Oh no. The kid... Oh my god, it might be actually. Did the kid kill the animal trainer? How the f*** did you get killed? Hang on. The Dwarven child punches... Hang on. What did he do? What? The Dwarven child punches the animal trainer in the head with her left hand and the injured part explodes into gore. What are you, made of fucking paper? Curling Stone, the 11-year-old, punched a dwarf in the face and his head exploded. He's a menace. Curling Stone. You fucking psychopath. One punch dwarf can't even be exiled due to her status as a child. So, unfortunately for the rest of the dwarves, they're gonna have to deal with this. We also made the hospital cuter, so if any dwarves are lucky enough to survive Curling Stone's Fist of Fury, they can end up here. That, of course, is if she doesn't beat the ever-loving out of the doctors working there first. It was at this point the council, aka Twitch chat, decided to sacrifice Curling Stone to the volcano. We felt like it only made sense to have a proper sacrifice zone built up. And as we go from village to town, more problems arise as we are assailed by bat people flapping their leathery wings in the darkness of Cavern Layer 2. To get revenge for Mood Kindred the Bard, we bring the fight back to the invaders by sending Clay's oily yet handsome soldiers. Alright Clay, you've got a mission here. You're a legendary metal crafter, but right now you've got a dog brain roast and a hen egg roast and you're about to go on a rampage. Okay, good luck. Best of luck to ye. Injured citizen. Who's injured? Clay! Unconscious! Oh my god.
Fortunately, the army defeated the Bat People invaders, the only injury being Clay's shield hand needing stitches. And despite the sacrificial chamber being complete, nothing can convince Curlingstone to enter it. Not even burrows. More organized goblin hordes from the west keep attacking too, so it's a continuous effort to repel them. It's a good thing the oily boys are so well trained though. The goblins don't stand a chance. The dwarves charge upstairs, tearing through the goblins like a knife through green butter, if butter could scream. Good thing no one needs to go outside for long, because every dwarf has cave adaptation down here. The dwarves are slipping and sliding on their intermingling vomit whenever they need to poke their heads up. Meanwhile, Curlingstone has decided her hands are rated E for everyone, as she starts another random brawl. It's at this point, despite her anger issues, we realize maybe she would be a useful berserker in combat when she gets old enough.
The dwarven child punches the craft dwarf in the right hand with her right hand, and the injured part explodes into gore. Why is she so strong? Tobal has been found dead. Oh my god. So he's having a beatdown by Curlingstone. Curlingstone, as he fell over, Curlingstone then punches the craft dwarf right in the right hand with her right hand, and the injured part explodes into gore. An artery's been opened by the attack. The force bends the right wrist, tearing apart the muscle and bruising the bone, and tearing apart the muscle and bruising the bone. The ligament has been bruised, and the tendon has been bruised. The dwarven child punches the craft dwarf in the upper body with her right hand, bruising the muscle, tearing apart the spine nervous tissue.
Spiderweb, chicken, person in lotus.
F***ing hell, that's a second kill for the 11-year-old.
It was at this point I thought, do I just lock her in her bedroom and let her starve to death? There is no controlling an individual dwarf like her, and if the door opens, she'll surely kill again. But then I realized she's entertaining, with a lot of potential. Isn't that why we play games like this? To watch interesting events unfold through a fantasy lens? This got me pondering. Is that how the gods treat us? Are we all just dwarves in God's overheating computer? We have free will to make our choices, but maybe God is just watching, capable of small, trivial interventions like jamming a door. They could step in for the greater good, or instead just sit back, enjoy the chaos, and entertain their Twitch chat. We'll let her out in a bit. To better defend our dwarves, we've built a second barracks to house a squad that will fight the constant Cavern invaders. And not a second too soon, as the amount of bat people starts approaching 50. Don't quote me on this, but my minimal understanding is flying creatures have hollow bones, so I'm pretty sure the oily boys will have no problem with taking them out.
What is Silkworm and Mincot and 40% Von doing out here? What the f*** are you guys doing? I swear. I can't believe it. They're dying. Let's get the Mountainous Murders to go and rescue them, I assume? Is that something we can do? Go here. Go, Mountainous Murders. No, 40% Vaughn, no. Oh my god. Who's that? That's Eli. No, what the f are you doing? Storing an item in a bin? Hauling a crown? Don't do it. Don't, Eli. Eli's trying to kill himself. Eli, no. No. Oh, for sake, bro. Eli killed himself. All right, so the boys are all here, I think. Let's see if we can kill them. Oh my god, they're all on this spot. What the hell? Okay. Boys, best of luck. Kill Various. Go get him, guys. It's probably going to take place here because I have to go down here. Yep. There we go. Oh my god. Okay, so Lore has already died. I think it's just too many fucking invaders. Oh no. F***ed up sand dude, no! Oh my god. 9 oh my god, they took him out. Holy shit. Vonjamin entered a martial trance. Oh my fucking god. Only one invader left? And it's just this random bat spear person? They took them all out. That's pretty impressive.
Our heroic defenders are given medical assistance in the hospital. We lost a couple dwarves to the bats, but it's better than losing the whole fortress. Meanwhile, more chaos ensues, down in the caverns with the cleanup team. Curlingstone, who had been released from her bedroom, despite not having any work orders to collect loot in the caverns, went down there and punched Dumbass, our metal crafter. Very characteristically of her, she once again killed with a singular punch to the face. However, this time, rather than exploding his head, his neck and upper spine twisted, killing him. Since this is the third murder, I think it's safe to say she's a serial killer at this point. I don't think her dad would be happy with this. Bro dies to give the fortress water, and now she's enacting random vengeance just to spite me over it. As a well-needed break from all the death and destruction, our liaison, the Baroness Consort from the mountain home of Inky Handles, has come to meet with Mayor Muncher. She explains our sheer prowess and elite ability to tame such an awful land deserves recognition, and wishes to elevate a member of our colony to Baron status. Obviously we wanted to pick Curlingstone, but because we can't make a Baron out of a child, we picked a humble yet level-headed peasant. She didn't like that one bit. Continuing her killing spree where it hurts with our fortress founder, we find that the dwarven child punches the mayor in the head with her right hand, bruising the muscle and skull, knocking him unconscious. While Muncher was on the floor with a skull fracture, she hit him again, and who would have guessed it, his head f***ing exploded. No! So I guess congratulations on the promotion, Goblin Nuka. Unfortunately, before you can say dwarf shortage, Momus is also assassinated by Curlingstone. This kill was slightly less elegant and was just a complete beatdown. The two kills happened so close together, Muncher is still in the combat logs. Apparently she's a skilled fighter at 11 years old. Pretty impressive. To lighten the mood, we do a bit of naming, and decide to honor our Baron with a nickname. Just, don't mind the name of his wife. He's bestowed with the name Dwarfy McDwarfface while he's unconscious. Surely that's an honor to wake up to. Roused by the smell of mulch, an elven diplomat is sitting waiting in his office. Not deterred by the sound of Curlingstone beating people to death down the hall.
Rathe, what a pleasant surprise. Not a single tree here weeps from the abuses meted out with such ease by your people. Joy. The dwarves have turned a page, not that we would make paper. A travesty. Perhaps it is better said that the dwarves have turned over a new leaf, and the springtime for our two races.
Anyway, the elves reminded us we needed a proper dungeon, partly to keep all the caged cavern dwellers, but also the goblins that keep getting drip-fed to us. Any goblin outside of a cage, though, is instantly torn to shreds. The helmet of a beheaded goblin revealed that yes, this was from the Plague of Burdens, the civilization residing in a captured mountain home under the banner of Thon the Tongueless. I'd love to take them out someday, but probably not with this fortress. I think I'll timeskip at some point, and try to recruit an adult Curlingstone for the task. Speak of the devil, during her most recent therapy session, the kid killed yet another mayor. It's probably worth mentioning that Goblin Nuka was ex-military, hence the nickname. Yet, even his face wasn't strong enough to withstand this angry child. So, best of luck, Monom. Might want to wear a helmet. Seemed like a good idea to expand the graveyard, given the track record so far. Also, I felt there's too many idlers, so I got them all on stone smoothing duty. While the dwarves worked hard smoothing, little do they know the biggest tragedy of the fortress was about to commence.
Let me ban him and then What the fuck? What happened? Hang on. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no! What the fuck happened? Oh god. How did this happen? What the hell? I think they're... Oh no, whose dog's this? Stray dog head? Oh Jesus. Okay, so we're having a bit of an issue. Evidently, we're being attacked by a fuckload of invaders, and I didn't realize that we were being attacked because no one was in here guarding. This is why I think we needed to have the dogs here. You know what I mean? So what's happened? We had... So 6 immediately got captured, but then like this serpent woman went down the thing. Who's dead? Shoras Labor Riddle. Tiki Ron Coco, our fucking doctor, has died. Emiron the Traumatized. Soul of the Stressed. I fucking love Soul of the Stressed. We need to know, is the mayor murderer still alive? This is what I'm concerned about. I'm hoping that I think that this is the turnaround, right? I think this might actually be the turnaround because we've got how many? Oh god, it's so many. If Curlingstone 2 Unleashed could fight the horde. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to tell them to arms, men. Send them back. Fight for our lives, right? Oh, God. Okay. Let's see what we can do. 14 invaders, 13 targets. I don't know where the last one is, but who gives a shit? Confirm. Let's go. Fortunately, Sir Cockler, 7, there's been 6 before him, is deflecting shots with his pick. What's up with that? Is the spearman attacks the stray puppy? Kohikaros Slagmaster, be careful. I'm waiting for, like, Curling Stone to just, like, be airdropped into this situation. Oh, no. A pool of Sir Cockler 7's dwarf blood. Serpent Woman's left hand. Not bad. We're doing it, chat. The Serpent Woman stabs the stone carver in the upper right arm with the iron spear, tearing the muscle through the giant cave spider silk cloak. A motor nerve has been damaged. The spear has been lodged firmly in the wound. He's just getting stabbed. Is this England?
The serpent invaders continued to slaughter their way through the main stairway, driving their spears into anyone they could get their claws on. After massive loss of life, including most of Curlingstone's surviving family, a few doctors and other named individuals, the Oily Boys decided enough is enough and went into a drunken rage, insta-killing any serpents alive in the fortress. Thank God. To commemorate the fallen and flex on the serpent men, we did what any mature dwarf would do in this situation and erected silver statues depicting them as submissive, ugly soy jacks. And to cheer us up even more, we bought even more books from the humans, this time some translated Elven Dojin, mysteriously sealed in plastic wrap with an 18+ sticker on the cover. We got a cute guard dog house up and running. However, we needed to lock the door when we discovered how cowardly they were. Also, we named the giant wolf Muffin. All wasn't peaceful for long, as the forgotten beast, Stredigalka Gulgud, has come. A massive venomous tanager thing. It has an enormous shell and apparently undulates rhythmically. With it being a big creepy bird, it took flight in the caverns. Unfortunately, I wasn't really clocking the potential danger of this, thinking we're all good with our cavern entrance locked up. I completely forgot about the side overlooking the volcano.
Oh no. I did done fuck up.
My foolishness meant the giant creature was now facing humble farmer Lore Hammersley, and Lore was about to shock the fortress with an elegance that surprised even himself.
You will never get this. You will never get it.
He had his protagonist moment, but then immediately got his leg ripped clean off before the soldiers could kill the beast. Lore survived, but probably won't be able to do that kind of dodge again. Not after what the beast did to him. Probably also worth mentioning at this point the game updated on the beta branch, and I had new children sprites and lumpier-faced dwarves. It meant we could finally meet our antagonist though.
I can't believe that they've updated the game, guys. I'm actually like kind of pogging out of my mind a little bit. Look at this little baby. Oh my God, is that Curling Stone too? Jesus. It's Curling Stone, the one who kills so many people. You know what it looks like? Little Red Riding Hood equivalent of Stewie Griffin. Little Red Riding Hood Stewie.
While I was busy pondering why dwarves never pick up parts of them that fall off, we were assailed by yet another forgotten beast, this time a giant blob composed of vomit. Whose vomit? No one knows. It swam through our drinking water on its way directly toward the side entrance with the dogs, choking them with a dusty sneeze through the window, before heading further down the corridor. One of our soldiers caught the vomit monster entering the base, the sensationally hairless milkbone booty cruncher. I think the beast sort of plumed secretion at the dwarf like a squid loosing ink.
Do you want some or to do that?
Milkbone took it personally and quickly killed the beast, not without getting completely submerged head to toe in vomity ooze. I think there was something in the puke because a few minutes later he was found unconscious in the hallway, fortunately with no long-term injuries though. The dogs caught more serpents sneaking into our base. This time we're prepared. Our doghouse is already paying off massively. We repelled the main force, but at the loss of a few recruits. Sag. Maybe we need archers or something, or just more traps. Before we could even get a mop out, topside were visited by an angry yet suspiciously handsome Cyclops. Ooza the Heavenly. No kidding.
Is that a minion? Yeah, this is a minion. It's just a big, swole minion. I'm going to let nature take its course, basically. All right, here we go. Did you get bored? Oh, wait, no, he's back. Okay, he's trapped.
We're getting a lot of prisoners due to the constant assaults. If only we had some kind of lava pit to dispose of them in. The volcano yearns for sacrifices, and I'm more than happy to oblige. Oh my God. Leave us alone! I might have been too quick to judge. This giant worm in Cavern 2 quickly became a godsend. It was borderline immortal, capable of fighting full armies of cave folk solo. This began the interdependent relationship between giant worm monster and Manorfish. So like, for as long as the dwarves don't need to go down here, we're gonna have a great time. We renamed the worm Shai-Hulud, of course, and let it go on its way. Because of the distraction, I didn't get to watch the serpent people get sacrificed. But instead, at least we get to do a kind of reverse Noah's Ark. As the fort marches through its mundane day-to-day, antagonized by goblin attacks, lesser forgotten beasts, and cavern invaders, one can't help but wonder, what's next for the fortress? I was kind of getting annoyed at the goblins, so we felt we'd bring the fight to them, razing their nearest little goblin town. As they were leaving, elves arrived to insult us for no reason.
What? We elves are particular into the trees in the forest surrounding your lands. Although we loathe to spare a single branch, we are asking you to cap your tree fells to 25 until we next meet. We've never cut a tree because we don't have any trees, dude. Like, what the hell? Yeah. Butcher. We're not cutting any trees, dickhead.
We decided to ignore the elves and let them think about what they've done in the trade depot. And read the logs to discover during our first raid, we absolutely decimated the goblins. Which got me thinking, these idiots are coming to Manorfish to fight and die. What if we made a Coliseum to make it entertainment, complete with a little adjacent tavern to hang out in between combat? Despite the culling by Shai-Hulud, the caverns are still infested. Even with the prowess of our fighters, we're still losing some due to fatigue by overwhelming numbers. Naturally, it raises the inevitable question of whether the best course of action might be to seal off the caverns entirely, cutting off access to their treacherous depths once and for all. Back at the Coliseum, we built a few tunnels to access the sides for different teams, the tavern already proving a smash hit with the dwarves currently working on construction duties. This is our magnum opus, so it seems apt that we would use dual windows to protect our onlookers. And the fortress worshippers are requesting a second location, which is perfect and gives them a reason to hang out up in the Coliseum. Their new pope was named Spencer from Ikali. Great name, thanks chat. I unfortunately had many issues with throwing goblins in the pits to turn them into combatants.
All right, come on. Can we throw these guys into here, into this pit? Oh, we did. Good job. Motherfucker's trying to climb out. No. Don't do it, Stossbub. Oh, he's making a break. Holy fuck. Oh my god, Stossbub. Smooth the walls. I thought I did. I only smoothed this one. I didn't smooth this one. God damn it.
We sent the army to brutally murder the escapees before smoothing the walls and trying yet again.
More goblins in the pit. All right. This time it's going to be these two goblin recruits. So let's get them in there. Yep. Oh my god. What? Where are you going with that one? Huh?
Another small mistake, but I forgot to lock a door they can escape through, which meant a couple more casualties and a couple more hours sitting in the corner thinking about what I've done. Several more precautions installed and we decided balls to it, and decided to forgo the pit, just to have a lever-activated cage system instead. For some reason, our DM decided he was mad enough to spill eggs all over the floor. As to not create another curling stone, we opted to exile him from the fortress. Sorry about that, Kai. The exile was to allow for potential re-recruitment with another fort. Little did I know that exiling Kai would crash the fucking game.
Oh no! Kai, you motherfucker. What'd I miss? No, 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 no! Oh my god, no! Oh no! Oh, what the fuck?
What a strange dream. Anyway, our handsome and noble Blue Kai decided he'd fight Shai-Hulud in exchange for destroying the previous timeline. He was flattened instantly. We managed to get the Coliseum looking even better than before, and was quickly reminded of the true menace of the fortress. After some months of silence, Curlingstone strikes again. Mayor Rokini, formerly Mayor Monom, has been put in hospital by the angry child. So Curlingstone has decided she'll be the final combatant of the tournament arc. Think of this as a rehabilitation program. Round 1 is 3 serpent people versus 3 goblins. The doors burst open and the serpents strike quickly into the room, while the goblins use range to their advantage. Unfortunately, the speed of the serpents was beyond the goblins, and they overwhelmed the closest enemy with ease. The logs say that the serpents parried and evaded oncoming arrows while biting and striking the goblin with its spear, tearing through his leather armor. Today we learned that the serpents had paralyzing venom, or that having a spear lodged in your body will paralyze you. Either or. One goblin holds off the snakes while the other peppers them with arrows, but unfortunately it's not enough, giving 10 points to Slytherin. We also encountered a bit of a problem with the system. It takes a while to pull levers, as some dwarves freak out with seeing invaders through the glass. We added more goblins to the pit, then unlocked all doors to catch the serpent peeps in the cage traps. However, apparently that caused the dumber dwarves to decide now was the opportune time to come down here and clean up the sick and blood. The fools killed and captured the serpents with a few wounds to live with as a reminder. Down in the caverns, we're alerted of a giant leathery, poisonous/venomous newt. It foolishly joined Cavern 2, which is the giant worm's stomping ground, and newts do eat worms. But I have a sneaking suspicion Shire Halud is built different. Initially, they seemed to bond over their love of killing cavern fauna, but when the frolicking was done and the Rutherers were dead, they only had each other. The newt was bitten and made to bleed really quickly. I swear to God, this worm is way too strong.
You're walking in the woods. There's no one around and your phone is dead. Out of the corner of your eye, you spot him.
Bro got reduced to a cube. Meanwhile, hilariously, the ghost of Kai is toppling statues near his previous bedroom. He's probably mad because he wanted the worm to lose. Back in the Coliseum, everything is made ready for the next fight, with the levers actually being named for once. We'll carve out a spot for our champion. This will be Curlingstone's lair, like a ranker pit. The north wall will be silver and retractable, so we can launch her at the winner of the final fight. It only makes sense that the mayor gets to do the honors pulling the final lever due to the constant abuse. Also, the kid won't be needing her old room anymore. Gonna keep it locked and preserved like a time capsule.
Curlingstone is going to be unleashed. The thing is that it's going to be one of those, like, I'm not trapped in here with you, you're trapped in here with me kind of moments. Oh god. Kivish the glassmaker's been found dead. No! Curlingstone! No! Curlingstone strikes again. For God's sake. The Dwarven child punches the glassmaker in the lower lip with her left hand. The injured part explodes into gore. The force bends the head, tearing apart the skin. She is just so powerful. It's ridiculous.
She'll hopefully be using this power for good rather than evil soon enough, as she gets settled in her rather lavish new dungeon lair. Round 2 is 2 serpent people versus 6 goblins to gauge their power level. We get to see more formation from the goblins this time. And while their leather-armored thieves go down pretty easily, the amount of goblin archers is too much even for the serpents, leaving a few battered goblins 2 dead, but an overall victory for the archers. We got a very long and gory combat log detailing how goblins were bitten and stabbed while their bowmen struck from afar. With no time to lose, we released the giant sexy minion who heard the goblins behind the door and chose to climb out of the pit and beg at the glass door for his release.
Don't leave me here! My house! My God!
Those titties. God damn. So the heavenly. A glass door to keep a Cyclops at bay. You could just hear that.
When the combat door opened, the Cyclops jumped down to battle. Lured by the most injured goblin, a brave bowman sucker punched him as he entered the room. Deftly dodging all the Cyclops' clumsy attacks, the goblins struck him with arrows, immobilizing him. These guys are kind of nuts. Get up.
Oh my god. I forgot to shut that door. Damn it.
While not the theatrical bout I'd hoped, down the backstage corridors, the goblins quickly advanced on Curlingstone's position. The goblin rounded the corner only to get deftly dodged by the mean little kid and ensnared in one of the emergency traps. Unfortunately though, these archers are very mean and loosed an arrow at Curlingstone when she ran round the corner. Despite her many years of beating dwarves to death, she clearly hadn't come to terms with her own mortality, taking the arrow to the knee and scrambling past the goblin down the hallway. I felt bad about it. I didn't like the fact she was dragging herself by her arms with an arrow in her leg. Although badass for saying, our time in the world of prophecies is so brief, this does not scare me. As to not lose such a charmer to a pathetic, miserable death, we decided to let her out of the arena, and we renamed the fella who shot her to be the Curlingstone Rehabilitator. With the goblins back in their cages, I felt this was a good stopping point for the fortress. I've got other ideas for this world, but mostly I want to enforce a long time skip, then to go back and check on the dwarves and see how life changed over the years. And of course, the next fortress will be a military might that will tackle those goblins once and for all. If you like this video, please do consider gently tickling the like and subscribe buttons, as it helps spur me on to create more videos like this. Okay, video over. Bye.